When Potter died the first time, you are probably aware that he spent about 20 minutes in a cleaner King's Cross station. And yet, unbeknownst to you, he did not turn back immediately to resume the fight with the Dark Lord. Instead, he took a purgatory tube ride to this cramped Croydon flat, where, along with Dumbledore, myself, and a few other special guests, we watched the Harry Potter movies back to back. And thus, a final chance remains to get closure on wounds that still fester.
Oh, you're joining us, Severus.
You started without me.
Well, we had no idea what you were doing down there, or how long you were going to be.
Is that your theme tune? Bit quiet. Not very bombastic.
It's mysterious. It's got an ethereal twinkle to it.
It can twinkle all at once. But if 9 people walk dramatically past the camera with that playing, they're going to look ridiculous. There's no vim, and certainly no chutzpah. What happens if you do that on the motorway?
What?
You take all the lights off the motorway and there's a pileup. I assume that's a crime.
Oh, don't worry yourself. This is like a 20-mile-an-hour zone.
I should have known that you would be here.
Gosh, it's funny when you watch back old footage of yourself you've not seen in a long time, isn't it? You never notice yourself aging in real time, but then you look back and go, God, is that what I used to sound like?
I was going to say, you sound rather different.
Happens to all of us. You turn 30 and you start to notice your frown lines aren't going away. You turn 40 and you notice that your aches and pains are probably here for good. You turn 80 and, well...
Your entire face changes shape and you become Irish and start shouting all the time.
It's a funny old life.
Professor McGonagall?
Oh, a great school you run, Albus. Employing cats as teachers now. A great way to keep the costs down.
Cats are actually great salary negotiators, Mithrandir.
I didn't know you studied at Hogwarts, Professor Gandalf.
Oh, Dumbledore! There's a SWAT in here. Didn't tell me there'd be SWATs.
This is Harry. We can't watch The Philosopher's Stone without Harry now, can we?
Creeps me out. Looks like a waxwork.
Thank you for the feedback, sir. I'll take it on board.
Anyway, Barry.
Harry.
Well, whatever. I studied at Hogwarts for 2 terms. All the Astari are encouraged to spend a year studying abroad. I went to Hogwarts. Radagast went to Durmstrang. And Saruman went to Eton.
Professor Dumbledore, sir?
You brought the Deluminator, Professor, to ensure privacy and secrecy on this most important of missions. Am I correct?
Exactly, Severus. We didn't want to attract any unwanted attention.
Did you perchance tell that to Hagrid before he appeared on the scene revving the engine of a flying motorbike?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's invisible to muggles or something.
The flying car wasn't invisible to muggles.
I mean, it's a grey area.
Why have you invited this villainous character to watch the film with us, Albert?
Villainous? This is Severus Snape, my closest friend and most trusted ally.
Where I come from, wearing a black robe and having long black hair is a really useful way to let everyone know you're the bad guy. Sort of a shorthand. If you're good, you should really have the good grace to have long, flowing blonde hair. It will be very attractive. Makes it so much easier for everyone around
Well,
you.
Severus is a man of conflicted loyalties.
So he's a baddie.
No, he's a goodie. He's morally complex.
What does that mean? I'm not familiar with that idea.
What's with the beard, Severus?
Can't be bothered to make a new deepfake, I bet.
What's that mean, Harry?
Sorry, Polyjuice Potion. I meant Polyjuice Potion.
Yes, I've drunk Polyjuice Potion.
Was that you, Barty?
This boy will be famous. There won't be a child in our world who doesn't know his name.
He's far better off growing up away from all of that. Until he is ready.
What, Severus?
Nothing. Just the way that you said that sounded like you were putting a rack of pork in the oven. Until it's ready.
He's not a pig destined for the butcher's block, Severus. He's a human boy. A juicy, tender human boy.
You're a teacher now, right?
A headmaster, yeah.
You don't think it's a safeguarding issue, leaving a baby on a doorstep?
It was the 80s. Child snatching wasn't a thing in the 80s. At least people didn't really report it.
Hold on a second. Am I dead?
What do you mean?
Well, you're dead, aren't you? Got that round robin from Professor McGonagall saying you died.
I did die, yes. Pain in the ass.
And that baddie's dead too, right? Either that or just a grown man emo.
I am dead, yes. And stop calling me a baddie.
So what's going on with me? Is this heaven? Am I dead?
Don't you have to be dead to go to the Grey Havens?
Kind of. I mean, it's never really explained properly.
Well, you're here, so I guess you must be sort of half dead or something.
Like me.
Oh my goodness. I'm watching a movie with a half-dead child. Now I feel depressed.
No, don't worry, I'm just visiting. I'm just halfway through the final battle at the moment. Me and Professor Dumbledore thought we'd rewatch Philosopher's Stone while we're here.
You don't want to get back for this. Sounds like quite a key battle.
I think time's frozen back there, or really, really slow.
Something like that. It's not really explained. Probably doing a Narnia.
What other dead people have you got coming round for this?
Pretty keen to see it. Finally get to see my boy do me proud.
Dad?
Oh my God. Are you my son? I thought you were some random Hufflepuff.
No, I'm Harry Potter. Your son.
Jesus Christ.
Am I a great disappointment to you?
I just thought my child would be less awkward than this. Bit taller, less tense, broader shoulders. The kind of guy where every girl he meets wants to jump his bones.
Not very charismatic. Wake-up call, then kicking him back in his room.
I see Dudley underwent bellboy training at the Ibis.
How many are there?
It's like Bilbo's 111st all over again.
How many presents did he have?
Oh, you've got to remember, he celebrated his 61st birthday with a vast hoard of treasure from inside the Lonely Mountain. That set a really dangerous precedent. Meant that his 70th had to be celebrated with a vast hoard of treasure and 9 more things.
This is what we're going to do, is that when we go out, we're going to buy you 2 new presents.
Glaring at him like that on his birthday of all days. You can see the spoilt rich kid personality has already taken root.
I know he's been pretty selfish, but it is his birthday.
Any funny business, and you won't have any meals for a week.
Maybe I shouldn't have left him with them.
Vernon? You chose Vernon?
But the spell, the magic protection spell.
Yeah, but if he's starved to death, what use would he be?
You want him fattened up like some juicy hog.
No, just standard meals.
If it were me and I were a muggle, I'd file that one under funny business.
Turning a snake into my only son. Yeah, funny business all day long, that.
There's no such thing as magic.
Ridiculous.
How long did it take to train the common owl to do that? Like dropping a 3-pointer through the eye of a needle.
Each owl has a team of 8. Personal trainers and nutritionists.
And you can afford that in the budget. Instead of using the post office.
Well, we are technically a not-for-profit charity, so all the school fees have got to go somewhere.
Oh, Marge is ill.
Dudley went to Harrow.
Smelting's Academy.
Academy. Dudley went to state school. And that's what they were.
No. Gandalf, you have a surprising amount of knowledge about the British educational system.
Funny well.
Dad, look! Harry's got a letter! Hey, give it back, it's mine!
You ended up sending quite a few of those, didn't you?
More and more every day. They just weren't getting back to me.
Well, they're a busy couple with a school-aged child going through the stress of getting him ready for secondary school. It's understandable they might take a couple of days to respond to a written letter. You know, write their reply, buy a stamp, find time to go down to the post office. Presumably you gave them time to do all those things.
Well, I just really wanted them to get the message.
So you went straight to being essentially a menace to harassment.
Well, I hope Vernon was mentally robust enough to withstand a bit of a charm offensive. I think his grip on reality might actually have been fairly tenuous. And those letters were all it took to push him over the edge.
Fella's lost his goddamn mind.
You handwrite all of those.
Yeah. This is making me really quite angry, actually, which is an emotion I don't really have the capacity to feel, unless someone like tricks a cup or something. My hand was proper cramping up from writing all those letters.
It was around about this time that I started to suspect that he was hiding something from me.
Please don't forget to subscribe.
UPS should do that instead of a safe space. I'm not booking half a day off to receive a package they don't even try to deliver.
How bad is your hand-eye coordination, son?
I got your vision, Dad.
It's so bad that you're nearly drowning in letters and you can't get one open before he grabs you and pins your arms. You were dancing in them for about 10 seconds in full view of everyone.
Clammy hands. The seal kept slipping.
Should your focus not be on a grown man bodying your 11-year-old son, Potter?
Have some personal agency.
That's it! We're going away!
That's where the Dursleys have a holiday home.
We had to go there with them once.
Can't imagine Vernon bragging too much about that down the Surrey Country Club.
I demand that you leave at once. Dry up, Dursley, you great prune.
Vernon was a split second away from killing a man in cold blood.
If I'd known the letters were going to have this effect on him, I'd have sent more.
Of course, you'll know all about Hogwarts.
Sorry, no.
Didn't even skip a beat. Very matter of fact.
Well, he just said something that wasn't even a word, so I just shut down that conversation quickly and professionally.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Surely he would have already known that.
Well, no. Haven't you been watching? The Dursleys kept the letters from him.
Yeah, but he'll have the memory of falling to Earth in a shooting star with a divine mission assigned by the Mire, won't he?
Wizards are a bit different over here, Professor Gandalf. We don't all have a divine mission. A lot of us are just trying to get by and just get on with our life.
Why are you talking like that? Swat. You can relax. We're just watching a film together.
This is just how I talk.
All the time.
Leave it, James. That's just who he
It
is.
sounds ridiculously tense. Like he's trying to poo. Or trying not to poo.
That's not a very nice thing to say.
You've made a mistake. I mean, I can't be a wizard.
This is why we have gatekeepers.
I mean, I'm just Harry. Just Harry.
Perfect sister being who she was. Oh, my mother and father were so proud the day she got her letter.
Petunia, feel like you're bringing some of your own stuff to the table here.
I think you got a bit of work to do on yourself, Petunia.
And then she met that Potter.
Oh, some common ground.
Muggle.
Non-magic folk. This boy's had his name down ever since you were born.
So how many wizards are there in your world?
We're a thriving community. Witches, too.
What's that? What's one of those?
Women who do magic.
Women? Women?
Surely you've got women where you come from.
I think we've got one or two.
He will be under the finest headmaster that Hogwarts has ever seen. Albus Dumbledore.
Excuse me.
You were interim. Doesn't count.
That's your magic staff. That's what you use.
No, I can see that that's a confusing introduction to our wands, though. It's very much a red herring. Just unfortunate that the first wand you saw was indeed an umbrella.
I'm not knocking it. Never thought of adapting my staff so we could keep you dry. People always ask for that. And I always say, wait for the rain to stop. It's my passive-aggressive solution.
Did you know that Hagrid flagrantly disobeyed the rules like that in conducting his everyday business, Albus?
I didn't know about this specific incident, but I'm willing to overlook it.
What is your official policy on rule breaking? It seems flexible.
Breaking the rules can be overlooked if it's done by a likable character.
And whether or not someone is likable is down to
my own personal feelings on the matter.
Right. So the same rules as Eton and Harrow.
Exactly.
Never mind all that. How do you make someone grow a pig's tail? I want to learn that.
Can you actually do any magic? If you don't mind me asking.
I beg your pardon? I'll have you know I once shouted, I'm not trying to rob you. At someone who made the background go sort of greyish. And made my voice so loud and boomy.
Right. No, yeah. Pretty impressive.
But what I wouldn't give to be able to give someone a pig's tail. And you as Saruman would have gone down pretty differently if I'd been able to make him sprout a little pig's tail. But as you're none, oink, you man!
Don't know why he's so perturbed. Tails are well known to give you extra balance, like having more toes sprouted above your ass. I'd welcome them.
Probably in shock. I know that because the state of the pig's tail is an indicator of how stressed they are.
Another advantage.
What exactly are these things?
They're goblins, Harry.
That's what your goblins look like.
Yeah.
And they're goodies. They look like that. And they love gold above all else.
You seem to have a problem with our universe.
Nothing.
Vault 687.
You did put him on an allowance, Albus. You want an 11-year-old spaffing the legacy fortune on sweets and chocolates.
Best not to mention this to anyone, Harry.
I think it would have been real easy to have asked him to wait in the cart there, Hagrid. You great lummox.
Why don't you run along there and wait? I just got one more thing I got to do. Won't be long.
That shop has been around for over 2,000 years.
Yes. Why?
In the wizarding world, you recognize the significance of the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Well, we think his magic was really rather tame. Conjuring fish and bread, walking on water. Resurrection's pretty cool, if somewhat short-lived. But if he wants to reveal himself to the Muggles and be their king, then fine, but don't try and straddle both our worlds. Make your choice and stick to it.
The wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter. It's not always clear why.
It's the most expensive.
Oh, what are the chances? The most expensive wand in my shop really wants you to buy it. Wish I could explain why, but them's the breaks, I guess.
It's a clever business model.
Does it to everyone. Rigs up a bunch of fake wands to make you do embarrassing stuff, then hands you a real pricey bastard and does this whole, oh, nobody knows why shtick. Real snake oil salesman, all of that.
What embarrassing things did your trick ones make you do when you bought yours?
First one made me do some really racist tweets that I had to publicly climb down from. The second one made me shit myself.
No, wouldn't want that. Wouldn't even be looking at the price at that point.
Maybe she wrote it down.
No, I can't spell it.
Too many of our graduates are sadly illiterate.
They may end up with good magic skills, but we don't really prepare them all that well for later life.
I reckon he's out there still. Too tired to carry on.
Well, we can all relate to that.
What are you looking at?
Well, that's just rude.
That's something out of Willy Wonka. Have a rail car.
The Hogwarts Express is funded by the school, so no.
Of course it is. No replacement bus services for these children of privilege.
There must be a mistake. This says platform 9 3/4.
Really, it shouldn't have gone through the barriers until they called the platform on the big screen.
The platform only has one train and it only goes once a year.
So many RC LNER people tell me off for using the app to preempt the platform when I don't have a seat reservation.
Well, you are trying to game it.
So, if you divvy up your platforms by the quarters, where does, say, Platform 9 and 1/4 lead.
Somewhere magic. Or magic happens.
Chessington World of Adventure.
What the shit? You teach this stuff to children?
It's pretty basic stuff, Mr. Gandalf.
You need to start respecting your elders a bit more. You specky little sprot.
Duly noted, sir.
Is this guy written by an algorithm or something? Looks like someone programmed a child from the 1950s. It's weird. It's creeping me out.
Best do it at a bit of a run if you're nervous. Good luck.
Love at first sight.
What a slow burner.
Anything off the trolley, dears?
No, thanks. I'm all set. We'll take the lot.
Asshole.
I was trying to be nice. I thought Ron's sandwiches looked a bit basic, a bit sad, a bit dog-eared.
Oh, what, his homemade sandwiches that his mother made for him with pride and
I
love.
thought he'd appreciate a nice treat.
So you decided to pull some gold coins out of your pocket in front of this working-class child. To buy everything available to you, establishing an imbalanced power dynamic right at the start of your friendship.
I didn't really think about it that way.
Oh, leave him alone, snivelous. There's nothing wrong with flashing the cash now and then. Chicks love rich boys. The girls will be all over him when they hear there's a hot little rich boy on the train.
You know, there were other children on that train as well. Children who probably had their own ideas about buying a few snacks for the journey, who might have something to say about this new aristocrat kid who just took the lot.
I didn't mean to upset anyone.
Unbearable little pipsqueak, honestly. Not an ounce of your mother in you.
Don't talk about my mum that way.
Oh, because you knew her, right? You knew her really well.
Well,
This is Scabbers, by the way.
Oh, f*** me. Scabbers, is it? Watch out for that rat, lad.
Ron? Ron's all right, Dad.
Well, he's poor.
Turn this stupid fat rat yellow.
Are you sure that's a real spell? Well, it's not very good, is it?
Sorry. Who am I supposed to like in this film?
These are our heroes.
You're joking.
Yes, it's my story, Professor Gandalf, sir.
You're the lead. I thought you were just some sort of audience POV character to get us into the story. Am I going to have to spend a whole film with these annoying brats?
8 films.
Come again.
They become a bit more likable as it goes on.
Until Goblet of Fire.
Yes, then they will become intensely dislikable. Then later they become slightly more likable again.
How likable are they at the end of the last film?
Sort of vaguely likable. You feel quite neutral about them all by then, don't you worry?
Well, that sounds like one heck of a journey. I cannot wait. I feel like if that's your commute to school, it would just give you so much confidence.
What do you mean? How does that give you confidence?
Well, it's just if your way of getting to school was via lantern-lit rowing boat to a majestic castle built into the cliffs, you'd really get a feeling of being someone in this world and that you are destined for success.
This is a bit of a one-off just for the first years. It's quite ceremonial.
Still, the point stands.
Now, in a few moments, you will pass through these doors and join your classmates.
Barely aged a day.
Any rule breaking, and you will lose points.
And this is at the discretion of the varied teaching faculty.
Yeah, very much so.
Is there an independent adjudicator?
Absolutely not.
It's true then, what they're saying on the train. Harry Potter has come to Hogwarts.
Ah, good. A friendly character.
That's one of the villains, Gandalf.
What are you talking about? He's got blonde hair. I told you, goodies have blonde hair.
Well, the entire Malfoy family has blonde hair, but their loyalty to the Dark Lord ran very deep indeed.
Crikey, these films are so hard to keep a track of. Why can't you have a simple system and stick to it, like blonde hair good, dark hair bad?
It's a bit of a slippery slope, that, mate.
The Dark Forest is strictly forbidden to all students.
Dark Forest, strictly forbidden. Why not call it the Forbidden Forest?
That is its colloquial name.
Ah, right then.
Well, that's just stupid. A talking hat.
It's magic, Gandalf.
Yeah, but Do you think you're sort of cheapening the very concept of what magic is here?
How so?
Well, where I'm from, magic is this primal, awesome, unknowable force that mere mortals can't even conceive of.
Yes.
And here it's all, what if this hat could talk? Whoa, what if this cup had legs? My lamp has a bachelor's degree. It's all a bit silly. It's just word salad. I've been generating much sound out of those knuckles.
He's eccentric. It's how he claps.
Well, if everyone clapped like that, then Hermione would feel like nobody really was all that pleased she was in Gryffindor.
Slytherin!
He didn't even touch his head. You can't let that one stand. It malfunctioned.
Didn't see it. And there's no VAR.
Probably some ambitious fly got stuck in the hat. Or a moth.
I'd have loved to put a moth in Slytherin, but it wouldn't be able to afford our fees.
Susan Bones.
Hey, Bonesy. Bonesy, 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 Bonesy. If you stare at someone, Severus, usually the best thing to do is look away bashfully when they notice.
Why?
Well, if you stare at them for ages and then their scar starts hurting, they might start to think you're some evil person when you're not. Huh.
Hufflepuff!
Bonesy. Because Bonesy's a Hufflepuff.
Ha! Another Weasley.
Well, it seems to cause the hat pain to be put on a Weasley. It winced. The hat winced.
Sharp hair?
Plenty of courage, I see. Not a bad mind either. There's talent.
Does he mind that? Revealing all his inner thoughts to the entire school that he's only just met. Is that fair on the kid?
Oh, he gets so pissy about that. Hates people rooting around in his brain.
Not Slytherin. Not Slytherin.
Not Slytherin.
What's wrong with Slytherin? That's the evil house, isn't it?
Gandalf, I've told you, our world deals with a lot more moral complexity than yours. It's not as simple as Slytherin being the evil house. Each house represents different personal qualities. Some of the qualities associated with Slytherin may have been considered more negative, but it's not a truly nuanced view.
There are many cultures where being a self-serving, scheming coward who only thinks about themselves are considered positives. And that's why we created Slytherin.
I can immediately think of several Muggle jobs where that would be considered the ideal candidate.
I think I'm beginning to understand. So you're saying that across history, it's more than just what groups we belong to that determine whether we're good or bad. A hero could come from any background, and so could a villain.
Oh, no, all the villains are Slytherin.
Oh, right.
Not all Slytherins are villains. But if you are a villain, you're gonna be in Slytherin.
Yeah, and the heroes are basically all Gryffindors.
Yeah. Chicks love Gryffindors. All the other houses are just limp dick cucks.
James, please.
Oh, so moral complexity is...
It's sort of a have your cake and eat it situation.
Got it. And I assume the cake sings and dances and helps you with your Sudoku.
Do you even need to ask? It's magic.
Gryffindor!
Oh, I see. The chosen one gets a proper clap.
Thank you, Professor.
These hands only have so many claps left.
I'm half and half.
Seems very wasteful.
That's about the right amount of food, isn't it?
There's about 500 sausages there to serve, 4 kids? You're telling me one kid is going to eat 125 sausages? And that's just the sausages?
I guess not.
What do you do with all the waste?
Dump it in the lake.
The parents not complain when their kids come home each term, fat as a house?
Well, we play a lot of sport.
Active sport?
Well, no, actually, our main sport involves a lot of sitting down.
Oh, so they burn it all off playing esports.
They like to change.
Ah, finally, something from your world that I recognize. We've got staircases that do that too.
They're an old favorite, the staircases. You don't want to be trying to find your way back to bed on them after one too many.
How do yours work? Do you have a giant demon of shadow and flame that causes them to come loose, so that then 2 people have to stand on them and lean in a certain direction to cause them to move where they want them to go?
No. It's just magic.
Ah, right. Magic. Of course. Should have known.
Password.
Oh, the plus-size lady. Good, Severus. You remember your sensitivity training.
The cat is teaching a class. That was joking before, but seriously. Is there that much of a teacher shortage these days?
The families get private tutors if they fall behind, so it's easy to get away with. Honestly, sometimes I just see how far I can push it. I mean, I've got an ex-Death Eater teaching potions.
Can you imagine the look and on McGonagall's space if we were late?
Lucky she transformed when she did. Ron was about to do a long speech about what a bitch she is.
So the teachers are fine to just transform into an animal whenever they want to spy on the students in order to find out what they say about them behind their back. It's not an abuse of power in some way.
It's something they can do, so who am I to legislate against it? Like anyone can drink Polyjuice potion and use it to quite easily break into the biggest bank in the world. So why would the bank have any system in place to stop people doing it?
Are there any rules about spying on the students in the changing rooms? Or the toilets, or anything like that? Anywhere on campus where the students are legally entitled to privacy?
Yes, but the way she did it was quite funny, wasn't it? Quite cool.
I suppose so.
I've made it quite clear that as long as what's happening is basically funny and cool, let's not worry too much about rules or legal issues.
Well, if I were to transfigure Mr. Potter and yourself into a pocket watch, that way one of you might be on time.
Yeah, that's great, but then the other one has to live forever as a pocket watch.
There will be no foolish wand-waving or silly incantations in this class. I don't expect many of you to appreciate the subtle science and exact art that is potion-making. I can tell you how to bottle fame, brew glory, and even put a stopper in death.
Clearly not keen to instill a growth mindset.
There are those who can and those who cannot.
Some of you feel confident enough to not pay attention.
Oh, you were taking notes. Sorry about that.
It's all right, Professor.
I couldn't see that from where I was stood.
It's fine. You couldn't see.
Berate him, son. Come on, that's an open goal.
And what is the difference between monkshood and wolfbane?
I don't know, sir.
Clearly, fame isn't everything.
Sorry, just to check. What's your approach to teaching exactly?
I like to ask them things and see if they know the answers.
And if they know the answers?
I ignore them.
Right, because they already know them.
Exactly. There's no point in my teaching them if they already know it all.
And if they don't know them?
I belittle them.
And then teach them?
Of course not. Why would it be worth my teaching them if they don't know anything? I have 2 stamps from my end-of-term reports. One says, pointless student, already knows everything. The other says, pointless student, doesn't know anything.
Right. And you say you keep getting passed up for a promotion?
Took them years to finally give me the position I wanted.
I wonder what it was about your work that wasn't proving satisfactory.
I, a rabbit, harping home. Turn this water into rum.
Who's teaching him that? We'd have an underage boozing epidemic.
Oh, come on, Finnegan. If Jesus can do it, you can do it.
I, a rabbit, harping home.
What's Seamus trying to do to that glass of water?
This is the person you entrusted as being the central figure of importance in the battle against the Dark Lord. This person who can watch someone say, turn this water into rum twice, and then ask someone else what he's doing with the water.
Yeah, come on, Harry. Try to be a bit less of a dum-dum. You're letting the gene pool down.
I had no idea what his academic prowess would be like when I chose him, Severus. I just knew his heart would be pure.
Would have been nice to choose less of a thicker, all the same.
It means you've forgotten something.
The only problem is, I can't remember what I've forgotten.
His robe. He's the only kid not wearing one. F***ing Egypt.
That's a stupid gadget.
The Remembro? It's a brilliant idea.
Surely you'd just have red smoke in it all the time.
Only if you've forgotten something.
All right. How many people came to your 3rd birthday party? And who were they all? And what did they all wear?
Well, that's ridiculous. I can't remember all that.
I'll rest my case. Should be read all the time. Another for the list of pointless crap you lot insisting on claiming in the name of magic.
Welcome to your first flying lesson.
Snake?
Yes.
No, snake. She has snake eyes.
Oh.
with feeling.
Oh, Ronald, stop pleading with it. A broomstick can sense bleeding from a mile away.
Sharks sense bleeding from a mile away.
I said pleading.
Looks like Granger isn't good at everything.
Once you've got hold of your broom, I want you to mount it.
Wait, so only about 30% manage to do the most basic thing, and they all get to progress to the dangerous stuff.
Well, it's an hour-long lesson. You can't spend an entire hour shouting up. You go horse.
Everyone out of the way. Oh dear, it's a broken rib.
So she's fucked. Broken bones on her watch. Ostead will have a field day with that.
You struggled on your first broomstick flying lesson, if you remember, Gandalf.
Of course I did. Honestly, what self-respecting member of the Astari goes flying around on a broomstick?
Seems very Radagast, to be fair.
Yes, but Radagast will ride around on anything. He's got no dignity. Imagine me or Saruman on a broomstick. It's embarrassing.
If that's how you want to justify that D- on your end-of-term report, that's your decision.
Not good with heights, either.
Really? Mr. Base jump off Orthanc.
Everyone's to keep their feet firmly on the ground while I take Mr. Longbottom to the hospital wing.
Maybe if the fat lad had given this a squeeze, he'd remember to fall on his fat ass.
A good try, but the likelihood of him working out it was falling on his fat ass that he was forgetting, amongst the million other things. All while falling 40 foot. It's unlikely.
What's the matter, Potter? Bit beyond your reach.
Harry, no way. You don't even know how to fly. What an idiot.
Good on you, lad. You gotta stand up to bullies, or they'll never stop.
Wood, I have found you a seeker.
Because he broke the rules in a way that's likable and or cool.
Now you're getting the hang of this.
That's my boy. Honestly, starting to worry that my own son was a big walking stick of minge cringe. But now he's starting to show those Potter genes. But the Punani will come rolling in now.
Dad, it's very out of character for me to be assertive to an authority figure, but I'm going to have to ask you to stop saying all this misogynistic stuff. This is not who I always imagined my father to be.
Nerd.
You must be the youngest Quidditch player in a century.
Wait. So he made the team quicker than you, Potter? James Potter.
There were better players in my era. And the brooms were way worse.
Sounds like you're not even the best Quidditch player in your own family.
All the best Quidditch players get on the team in their third year. And I was injured for trials in our second year.
It would seem wealth isn't everything.
What's your PB, son? First game, 8 seconds. Snitch, caught straight out of the box. Because of me, they had to have a rule. Everyone was fuming.
Yeah, particularly because you were a chaser.
You never told me your father was a seeker too. I didn't know.
That was such a humbling moment, to realise I'd inherited the same skills as my dad, and I could follow in his footsteps and make him proud.
Proud-ish.
What's the other name on the plaque there? M.G. McGonagall.
Oh, must have been another player on the team.
It's the teacher that asked you to play on the team, isn't it? Professor McGonagall.
Oh, yes, and I suppose it would be. I suppose she saw the old spark of my father's flying style in me, or something.
So it's nepotism. The person who played Quidditch with your dad just so happened to decide that of all the new students at the school to rope in as the team's new star player, it was her old mate's kid.
I like to think I got the place on my own merits, Mr. Gandalf, sir. I may have been given the opportunities others haven't, but I still work just as hard to take them, and also to get the opportunities in the first place.
Oh, never babies say that.
The staircases change, remember? Let's go this way.
Before the staircase moves again.
Sorry. Why do the staircases move?
It's magic.
No, I know how they move. Why do they move? Why did the architect factor that in? What's the advantage of having staircases that randomly change where they go?
Well, it's not like it was planned that way. It's more like the staircases have a mind of their own.
Okay. Why did someone give the staircases a mind of their own?
There must be some reason.
Wow. Gotta hand it to you, Albus. That is brazen.
What's brazen?
Well, keeping the gates to hell itself in your school. That's Cerberus, the three-headed dog, I'm guessing. And only doing a short announcement at the end of the opening feast. Easy to access it if you get on the wrong staircase at the wrong time.
It was a little underprotected, yeah.
Still, a bit inhumane. Big dog like that needs a lot of exercise.
It was standing on a trapdoor, which means it wasn't there by accident.
So, the third floor is forbidden because it has a trapdoor that leads to the floor below.
Exactly.
But the second floor wasn't forbidden.
Yes, absolutely no restrictions on the second floor.
So where does the trapdoor lead?
Floor 2 3/4.
Of course. You lot in your quirky pocket dimensions.
I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another clever idea to get us killed. Or worse, expelled.
A real fine establishment you run here.
What do you mean?
The pressure of expectation to succeed is so high that your students would rather die than be expelled or fail.
Now you should see what they go on to achieve, though.
There's a tiny goblin creature in there trying to get out.
Don't know what you're talking about.
You catch this, Potter, and we win. Quidditch is easy enough to understand. Each team has 7 players, 3 chasers, 2 beaters, 1 keeper, and the seeker. 3 kinds of balls: bludger, golden snitch, quaffle. Try to put it through one of those 3 hoops. With me so far?
And that's number 1.
What position did you play again in your term abroad, Gandalf?
I was a commentator, if you remember. As I said, I've not got the head for heights to play the game myself, but I've got a sense of gravitas that lent itself well to commentating.
Didn't it take you 3 hours to commentate on a 45-minute game?
It's not my fault if the pace of the game isn't a natural fit for the rhythms of my speech.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Wingardium Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa.
Ugh, I absolutely despair of these twerps. Flitwick literally just said it. They can't even repeat something by ear.
Nah, these kids have got the right idea. Nobody cares about academic prowess.
How come to make a broomstick levitate, they just have to say up? And they all got it immediately. But to make a feather levitate, they have to say Wingardium Leviosa. And only Hermione can do it. Broomsticks are heavier than feathers.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Well done, dear.
So the slightest grammar or intonation mistake, and the spell goes from a gentle levitate to that of a deadly landmine.
Well, you do need to concentrate.
But there's no one in charge of maintaining a degree of word separation. Or does that just happen verbatim, if you get something the teeniest bit wrong?
Look, I'd love that. But there's very little planning permission on new spells. It's the Wild West out there.
I think we're going to need another feather over here, Professor.
Captain Obvious strikes again.
I just thought I should let Professor Flitwick know that Seamus had blown up his feather.
Be total dog shit in a war zone, Potter. I think we might need another munitions depot here, Sarge.
Somebody's got to say something a bit cheesy and funny as a button out of the scene after the big comedy moment, all right, Professor?
She's a nightmare, honestly. No wonder she hasn't got any friends.
Even at top boarding schools, teenagers don't like know-it-alls.
Bit weird for a school to have a dungeon. But the prospective parents would have a few questions about that on open days.
Prefects will lead our house back to the dormitory.
Professor, Slytherin's dormitories are in the dungeon.
Let me repeat. Slytherin prefects, please lead your house towards the threat.
What? Hermione! He doesn't know.
Yet another oversight. You know, in Muggle school, it is Muggles, isn't it? Yeah. When they do a fire drill, they take a register.
Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
What are you doing? What's he doing?
I'm implying the troll looks like Shrek.
Shrek? What's a Shrek?
Calls himself an all-powerful wizard and he's never heard of Shrek.
We haven't got a Shrek in Middle-earth. Sounds like an orc name. Is he an orc?
Ogre.
Sounds like true devilry. If I ever meet this Shrek, I'll disembowel him with my trusty sword Glamdring.
I'd watch that.
Do something!
Is he doing full-body ab crunch pull-ups to avoid that club?
I've got a rock-hard core, sir.
You were 11.
And I benched and crunched and henched and shredded every single day.
Ah, takes after his old man that way.
Ugh, he really is a pea-brain. You could use Potter as the club now. Club the other kids with the kid club.
I went looking for the troll. I read about them and thought I could handle it.
Why'd she lie?
Protect her friends. If Professor McGonagall had discovered the truth, they might have been punished.
The truth being, I went to the toilet, then got attacked by a troll, and they came to save me.
Oh. Yeah. That does actually sound fine.
5 points will be awarded to each of you.
So the house point system doesn't need to go through any sort of arbitration body in order to be verified. Any teacher can just award any amount of points they want to any student at any time they like in recognition of anything they like the look of.
There's a certain amount of personal discretion factored into the system, yes.
So Snape, like Slytherin, right? What's to stop him coming to you and going, oh, my leg came off and this kid in Slytherin stuck it back on with the leg stickercus back on her armor spell? I'd give Slytherin 1 billion points because I love my leg.
That would be legit, yes. It's a bit of an arms race, the point system. A lot of power creep going on.
Honestly, Gandalf, if you want to get pissed off about the randomness of the points system, I wouldn't go to DEFCON 1 now. There's some real bullshit still to come.
Now that you've proven yourself against a troll, a little game of Quidditch should be easy work for you. Even if it is against Slytherin.
Is that necessary, Professor?
We have a complex relationship, Potter. I love and hate you, as I love and hate myself.
It's a broomstick.
You're going to call me Captain Obvious again, aren't you, Professor?
Oh, I just think it's a real shame. Your mum was really smart. She deserved better than this. A kid who would just say chicken every time he sees a chicken.
That's not just a broomstick, Harry. It's a Nimbus 2000.
Oh, all the gear and no idea.
Today's game, Slytherin versus Gryffindor.
Gryffindor? Well, commentator's meant to be non-biased.
Used to be that way. That's why I got the job on a temporary basis.
Wasn't meant to be temporary. But you were so slow.
The bludgers erupt, followed by the golden snitch. Remember.
6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, would you look at that? Tough luck, son.
But that's against the rules, Pop.
Ah, you only get 1 debut, son. It's a shame. Shame.
Remember, the snitch is worth 150 points.
This game is pointless.
How so? It prepares them for life.
It's a bunch of people all trying to do something really complicated and difficult because they think it will get them somewhere. And meanwhile, there's this whole other game going on where if one person does this one thing that nobody else is even looking at, it makes everything else completely redundant and renders everyone's efforts pointless.
Gandalf, you just described life.
Oh, crap. That is life, isn't it? It's inheritance, isn't it?
I really don't see the problem. Some people are just better. It's evolution.
Not allowed? Kicking girls in the tummy? Seems like that shouldn't be allowed.
I remember thinking I'd never seen or heard a more evil-looking or sounding chap than that Slytherin captain.
You should make Grima Wormtongue.
Give me that.
You know, you run a school, right? Not a military academy.
The education of our students is of paramount importance to myself and the board, Gandalf.
And their safety?
You know, it's pretty important too, I guess.
Never got any official warnings from safety inspectors.
Any kid at any muggle school could easily be hit in the head with a cricket ball during PE. My school is no different from them.
Except you're subjecting the students to sentient cricket balls that actively want to bash their heads in.
Yeah, I suppose that's a little bit different.
And to stop students from going to a restricted area that may or may not be the gates to hell, rather than, I don't know, locking the door to that area, you put a massive evil f***ing dog there.
Students can't follow simple rules. They deserve to be eaten by a dog.
Unless they break the rules in a way that you approve of.
Oh yes, I'd hate for them to be eaten by a dog if they were students I liked. or at least found vaguely amusing.
You do see how this all comes together to give the impression of a fairly cavalier attitude to health and safety.
Yeah, whatever. It's my school, innit? And what the board don't know, don't hurt it.
Just playing on then. Man down. No medical attention? Cool.
Take that side.
Sounds like an orc.
This is why first year shouldn't be on the team. This is getting embarrassing.
Was that the same spell that tried to kill Neville? Was Voldemort still going after the two potential chosen ones?
Oh, snivellers. Still trying to impress Lily, I see. This time by killing her son.
I was trying to save him.
It's even more pathetic.
Oh. Arson. Even your good students just committing arson on a whim.
Arson, eh? 10 points to Gryffindor.
Do a muscle up, boy. Use those abs you were going on about.
I mean, upside down crunch is one thing, but a muscle up? I'm in year 7.
For a sport that is played completely in the air, the playing surface is beautifully maintained.
Missed your chance there. You had a run up. You could have run him through with your broom. That's why I sharpened the front of my broom.
Looks like he's going to be sick.
He's got the slip!
Showboater. Mr. I'll take the lot once again finds a way to do something in the most attention-seeking way possible.
Oh, that was pure Potter, that. It's like he was channeling his old man. It's like I came alive and crawled up into him and started using my son like a puppet.
Oh, gee. Thanks, Dad.
Except for all the rest of the time so far that you've been an awkward spod. I'm briefly and temporarily proud of you, son.
Well, that's pretty wizard.
And you ruined it.
Meanwhile, Wood is still lying over there unconscious, not being attended to.
Who told you about Fluffy? He's mine. I bought him off an Irish feller I met down the pub last year. Then I lent him to Dumbledore to guard the...
Yes?
If someone is about to reveal the very piece of information that you want, you don't jump all over their sentence going, yes, what, yes.
I wasn't socialised well.
Professor Snape is a Hogwarts teacher.
Hogwarts teacher or not, I know a spell when I see one.
These little rodents. After I tried to save you and everything.
Well, you didn't exactly try very hard to give off the air of being a goodie.
What that dog is guarding is strictly between Professor Dumbledore and Nicholas Flamel.
Oh, Hagrid.
You trusted him, Albus. The half-wit.
Severus, come on. He's twice the size of a normal man. That would make him a fool with.
Well, you're entrusting the safety of our world to one of the least competent adults in our world.
You can help Harry then. He's going to go and look in the library for information on Nicholas Flamel in the restricted section. Happy Christmas.
Oh, a task. What a wonderful Christmas present.
What are you wearing?
This idiot never seen a jumper before or what?
My body's gone. I know what that is. That's an invisibility cloak.
Oh, Mr. Potter's tendency to state the bleeding obvious is infectious, it seems.
You either die a smart kid, or you remain friends with Harry Potter long enough to see yourself become a dum-dum.
That's not very nice, Professor.
We're just messing, Harry.
Also, another tally for the Potter-Weasley friendship imbalance. Ron gets an embarrassing jumper from his mum. Harry gets given one of the rarest magical artifacts in the world by someone he doesn't even know. Friendship is just consistently giving Ron reasons to feel like crap.
Viable life lesson to learn early, though.
You don't want me as your enemy, Quirrell.
Should he be wearing a turban?
There's no dress code for teachers, Gandalf. They're free to wear what they want.
Seems a bit like cultural appropriation. Would you like McGonagall wear a burqa?
If you'd have told Quirrell on day one that he was being culturally insensitive and he should take that turban off right now, it would have saved us all quite a lot of bother over the year, to be fair.
What?
Sorry, spoilers. I do that a lot, just to be sure, every now and then. I just do this as well, just for the one time someone might be training a sniper on me.
So paranoid, Snivellers. Not everyone is out to get you.
That means there's a student out of bed.
You guys really legged it. You ran off like you said a student had been disemboweled.
Being out of bed is one of the most serious offences a student of Hogwarts can commit. We take it very seriously for their own safety.
Because presumably being out of bed might result in them being eaten by the ogre that lives in the cupboard or something.
That sort of thing.
Maybe you could go slightly easier on the students getting in and out of their own beds and just make your campus slightly less dangerous. I mean, what if they need a wee?
I will never make my campus less dangerous. I'm sorry. It's just not who I am.
The Mirror of Erised.
The Mirror of Erised.
So spelt backwards, it would be Desiree.
I think it's desire, as in what you desire.
Nah, what you desire.
You see the same thing, don't you, Snivs? Except I'm not there.
James, there's no need for that.
Yes, I was in love with your wife, James. Well done. You win.
Yeah, I do. I do win.
That's me! Only I'm head boy, and I'm holding the Quidditch cup.
So Harry sees a loving family, and Ron sees fame, popularity, wealth. Oh, this mirror is cruel.
Grass is always greener.
What do you see, James?
Oh, I just see my life exactly as it is.
Not even being dead. It's still wearing those glasses.
Do you think this mirror shows the future?
Nope. That's the Mirror of Erituf.
That doesn't show the future. That shows the future, eh?
Both my parents are dead.
Always playing the dead parents card, aren't you, Potter?
You just call your own son Potter.
Out of bed, Potter. Trousers down, 30 lashes.
This mirror gives us neither knowledge or truth. That is why tomorrow it will be moved to a new home.
What was it doing there in the first place?
I felt that at least for Harry's first year, it was important to just give the impression that this was a place where cool magic stuff happened, just for the hell of it.
It certainly felt like there wasn't much of an organising logic to any of the stuff I saw or did in that first year.
Room with a mirror in it that shows you your dead mum? Sure, why not? Staircase that arbitrarily leads to an evil dog? Invisibility cloak from an anonymous benefactor to let you creep around and be a greasy perv. Tick, tick, tick.
It's like a fever dream.
Always you. Always by design. Otherwise, the likelihood of this stuff would be 1 in a billion.
What did you see in the Mirror of Erised, Albus?
Huge can of jelly beans.
Oh, I assumed it would be something to do with your love for Grindelwald.
That was f***ing years ago, okay? I like jelly beans more now. What about you, Gandalf? What do you see in the Mirror of Erised?
Probably just me becoming a TikTok meme, I reckon. Or wearing the One Ring. I'm all about the clicks these days. What about you, Snapey? What deep desires would the mirror reveal to you?
I don't feel comfortable going into that in front of Harry.
How could I be so stupid?
How could I have been so stupid? So stupid that now I'm going to crush your fingers to make up for it.
I checked this out weeks ago. Forbidden light reading.
This is light.
That was light. Let's go see Madame Pomfrey.
The what?
Honestly, don't you two read?
Read a f***ing book.
Oh. Quack. Smashed avocado.
Ain't a soul knows how, except for me and Dumbledore. I shouldn't have told you that. I should not have told you that.
Dragons are pretty dangerous where I come from. They're not to be treated lightly.
Oh, they're very dangerous here as well. Very heavily regulated and totally forbidden as pets.
And yet you overlooked Hagrid hatching one on school grounds.
Oh, yeah. Hagrid's all right.
He's pretty cavalier with the life or death secrets as well, I notice.
Oh, he's still funny when he f***s up, though.
I shouldn't have told you that.
Hilarious.
It may be worth reminding you, Albus, that the secret plan we developed together over several years to overthrow Voldemort was one we were so committed to that it cost us both our lives.
Yeah.
And Hagrid blabbing about it to absolutely anyone was funny.
Yeah, he's a right laugh.
Nothing, I repeat, nothing gives a student the right to walk about the school at night.
What is it with you guys and students getting out of bed? Is this place a prison?
We've discussed this. They might get munched by a tree or something.
50 points will be taken.
50?
50? Each? They're going to have to defeat, like, 30 trolls to get that back. Or put an apple on the teacher's desk. Either one.
Oh, the Griffers are going to do you. We have our own way of dealing out restorative justice.
You see, honourable as your intentions were, you too were out of bed after hours.
Oh, and now you're even punishing the good character.
Malfoy's a baddie, Professor Gandalf.
Yeah, sorry. No, you did say. Sorry. Keep forgetting.
You know that he's not a professor. Just because he's old and has a beard.
You will join your classmates in detention.
We'll make a day of it. Maybe by the end we'll be friends.
There was a time detention would find you hanging by your thumbs in the dungeons.
Oh, yeah. Remember those days?
You got detention, sir.
You never wondered why I've got such long thumbs.
They hung them by their thumbs in the Slytherin common room.
Norbert's gone.
So now you're going to crossbow the children as punishment for rambling, yeah?
You're going into the forest after all. Got to have your wits about, yeah.
What?
Oh, there's more than werewolves in those trees, lad. You can be sure of that. Nighty-night.
So this is the forest they're not allowed to go into?
Yes, the Forbidden Forest.
Because it's too dangerous?
It's one of the most dangerous places in the country.
And if they break the rules by getting out of bed and putting themselves into a dangerous situation, they must be punished.
Of course. You can't go around allowing the students to put themselves in dangerous situations.
And their punishment is to be put into the most dangerous situation possible.
That'll teach them.
Do the parents know this is common practice? Neville called Stephanie a fat cow, so we fed him to a demon.
Surely he'd be fed to a fat carnivorous cow. For the irony.
Ron, Hermione, you'll come with me.
Okay.
Sending them off unsupervised now.
Okay, then I get Fang.
Fine. Just so you know, he's a bloody coward.
Go alone into the lethal forest, please, children. Take my dog. Good luck. Oh my goodness, unicorn vampire. Vampire that preys solely on unicorns. What, Dumbo? What are you pondering?
I'm just trying to imagine the logistics of the back of your head eating something. If the human body would allow that to look natural. I don't think the joints would naturally move that way.
That's a weird thing to think about.
10 feet there, and it's incredibly slow. You seriously trying to hide from it, Potter?
I'd given up. I know it was easy to get away, but I'd given up.
What was that thing you saved me from?
A monstrous creature.
Names, please. I want names.
Snape. Was it Snape? I bet you thought it was Snape.
That from the moment the blood touches your lips, you will have a half-life. A cursed life.
What does that mean exactly? What sort of cursed life is this unknown creature doomed to now?
Means your nose falls off.
Ah. Is that it?
Pretty much. Other than that, you have a pretty normal life. But no nose.
How does he smell?
Shut up, Harry.
Trying to imagine a world without smelling. Oh.
That thing that killed the unicorn. That was drinking its blood.
Snape. It was Snape, wasn't it?
That was Voldemort.
Yeah? Severus?
Jeez, I mean, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Snape doesn't want the stone for himself. He wants the stone for Voldemort.
Oh, bang on, Potter. Bang on.
From the boy's point of view, it's the most plausible explanation.
Try looking at things from outside the lens of your own biases for once in your life, Potters.
I think if he'd had the chance, he might have tried to kill me tonight.
I think he did have the chance. If you just walk a tiny bit quicker. A man can hover, for goodness sake.
To think, I've been worrying about my potions final.
Oh, glad to see I instill that dread.
Dumbledore. As long as Dumbledore's around, Harry, you're safe.
Yeah, right.
I think it's rather touching they place such trust in me, Gandalf.
Well, not enough trust to actually come to you and tell you that they were fearful for their lives and wanted some comfort and support.
Oh, God, no, that. At Hogwarts, we try to engender a sense of the students being in control of their own destiny.
Well, by manipulating them into feeling like they have to take it into their own hands to defeat the most powerful evil wizard in history, rather than asking a teacher for help.
Yeah. I can't be bothered with all that. Sounds stressful.
What do you actually do in your office all day? You're a non-teaching member of the faculty. I mean, what other duties do you have?
I watch the Quidditch and the feasts, and I kind of step in if one of the students dies or is about to die, or,
It keeps burning. I think it's a warning. It means danger's coming.
You don't know that. Might have just gone septic.
I mean, how many people wander around with dragon eggs in their pocket? Why didn't I see it before?
Oh, the moron patrol has finally figured it out.
I don't much appreciate you calling me and my friends the Moron Patrol, Professor Snape.
Well, have you tried being less of a moron? No? Come back to me when you've given that a go.
Lol. Sick burn. Nice one, Snivellers.
I'm bullying your son, you idiot.
Oh, yeah. I tend to just side with whoever seems the most powerful in any given moment.
Oof. Hope Hagrid's getting royalties. The opening theme, they stole it right off him.
Oh, the indie artists have no power coming up against the streaming giants. Half-giants.
I don't know. I never saw his face. He kept his hood up.
Did he have unicorn's blood dripping from his mouth?
He did, actually, yeah, come to think of it.
Ridiculous.
Just play him a bit of music and he falls straight to sleep. I shouldn't have told you that.
He's hilarious. He's such a liability.
Albus, you literally told our greatest enemy how to access the weapon we were concealing from him.
Yeah, it all turned out fine in the end, didn't it?
A ghost in detention. He's got it writing lines.
Now, would you go back to your dormitories?
Okay, so to be fair, they're not totally stupid. They did try to raise it with a member of staff.
Yes. Credit them with some intelligence.
No, it's just that you also make a habit of hiring teachers who couldn't give a flaming shit.
You'll get Gryffindor into trouble again. I'll fight you.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was too glorious.
Really rather you didn't belittle the low-status students like that, Snape. It brings back rather painful memories of my own time at Hogwarts.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't as bad as all that.
Some of the things bullies say stay with you for life, you know. I still hear them mocking. Hey, big nose. Hey, stinky big nose. How come your nose is so big if you stink so much? Can't you smell your own stink with that massive conch?
Oh, I never meant for that to catch on in the way it did, but it was all a bit of fun.
Yeah, well, you weren't much of a chaperone, that's all I'll say.
Neville, I'm really, really sorry about this. Petrificus totalis.
Neville, I'm really sorry about this. Crucio.
Oh, which bit? The fact it happened to your parents, or about the torturing?
Snivellus.
You started it.
Sorry. It's for your own good, you know.
Oh, the initial spell, maybe. The bit where he subsequently keeled over backwards and possibly cracked his head open on the stone floor. Possibly less so.
This is Devil's Snare. You have to relax. If you don't, it'll only kill you faster.
Ah, so this little trap, that's going to rule out anyone who isn't chill.
Well, yeah, I didn't want anyone stressed or uptight getting the stone.
Quite a big drop. Lucky they didn't all break their leg.
Curious. I've never seen birds like these.
They're not birds.
That's what she said. I've never seen birds like keys.
They're keys. And I'll bet one of them fits that door.
This is one of the defenses you've put in place to protect the Philosopher's Stone. A locked door to which you have provided a key.
The key's quite hard to get, though.
Why not just not provide the key? Just, I don't know, keep the key somewhere else.
It doesn't sound very fun. The whole point of these is to be fun.
Strange. Hello, Hamora!
Oh, come on. Give me some credit.
No, you're not getting any credit.
It's too simple.
I didn't think you'd ever see this, Professor.
If Snape could catch it on that old broomstick, you can.
Oh.
Not so simple, eh? Key attack.
Ah, mild inconvenience. Oh no. That could seriously damage a child.
This is no graveyard.
It's a tomb for year 7.
Try not to look too excited you just say that, Severus.
Harry, you take the empty Bishop Square. Hermione, Queenside Castle. And as for me, I'll be a knight.
Time for Ron, Captain of Gryffindor, to show his quality.
Ron, you don't suppose this is going to be like real wizard's chess, do you?
Well, I think there's a reason that he's made them stand as a full piece, whereas he's conveniently hiding behind a giant limestone horse.
I'd like you two to both be flesh pieces.
Yes, Hermione.
All right, Granger, now you. Out into the open field, please. It's for the greater good. We're gonna get you killed, Granger.
Once you've whittled down a few and sacrificed a bunch of your stone players, can't you just dodge through? You seem pretty slow. What are we gonna do? Chase you around the board like a Dalek?
No, that's Minerva. She created this one.
Bit of a bulldog's charge situation. They can't get all of us.
Once I make my move, then you're free to check the king. No. Ron, no! What is it?
I'm sorry, do my ears deceive me, or do they sound even more annoying?
Going to sacrifice himself. No, you can't. There must be another way. You want to stop Snape from getting that stone or not?
No. I hear it too.
Harry, it's you that has to go on. I know it. Not me, not Hermione, you.
I don't sound like that. Do I?
Oh, everyone thinks they sound different when their voice is played back to them.
Oh,
He's going to sacrifice himself.
He's gonna sacrifice himself!
No, you can't! There must be another way!
I couldn't believe Ron's bravery.
Why not?
He was just so convinced that I was the one who had to face Voldemort. That he was the one who had to sacrifice himself for the greater good. I don't know what gave him such certainty.
Certainty that his life was less valuable than yours. Yes. I wonder where he got that idea from. Could it possibly have been the way you treated him all the time?
Oh, I never really thought about that.
Hello, Ron. Nice to meet you. I'm Harry Potter. Allow me to buy you as many sweets as possible with my hoard of gold. And in return, I expect you to place your actual life subservient to my own.
Not quite what I intended, but I do take your point.
Nevertheless, you're saying that in a tone that makes it sound like a bad thing. I just don't get it.
Certainly lucky he went for the horse. Would not have fancied explaining that one to Molly.
No! Don't move! Don't forget, we're still playing.
Hermione, you took our turn. And now this twat on a stone horse is... Yeah, he's running me down. Great. Great.
Checkmate.
I get that Ron is good at chess, but he's no Magnus Carlsen. Probably get trounced by the Bates sisters.
So?
How can an okayly good Year 7 chess player beat your enchantment that is guarding the most precious artifact to prevent the return of tyranny? A chess computer would have had him over a barrel.
Oh, it was the early 90s. People were worse at chess then, so Ron was actually very good for the time.
What, the centuries-old game?
You'll be okay, Harry. You're a great wizard.
Great wizard.
Me, books and cleverness. there are more important things. Friendship and bravery.
Bollocks.
What's bollocks?
Since when has someone who knows loads about being a wizard been less good at being a wizard than someone who doesn't know loads about being a wizard? Just because that person's brave. It's a crock of shit.
I think bravery and purity of heart play their role, Gandalf.
Aragorn was brave. Sam was pure of heart. Are they wizards? No. We don't have friends. That's absolutely ludicrous.
What about Radagast?
The man's an arse.
You? No.
Oh.
I tried to kill you. If Snape's cloak hadn't caught fire and broken my eye contact, I would have succeeded.
And that is why I give points for arson. You got lucky.
Snape muttering his little counter curse.
Snape was trying to save me.
Quirrell made that explicitly clear to you.
He did. Yeah.
I assume that the reason you never once thanked me or showed me any form of gratitude over the subsequent 7 years was because nobody ever told you I was trying to save your life.
No, I never thought of it, really.
Wow. Okay, then.
To be fair, you're not very approachable. What's your excuse for acting so mean and scary around me all the time?
I think you're a dick.
Good justification, to be fair. Oh, nice work, Stone Pocket.
You realize, Albus, that by using the mirror to get the stone, Harry did exactly what was needed in order for Voldemort to succeed.
Huh?
If Harry had just let Quirrell go in there, the stone would have remained trapped inside the mirror and there'd be nothing Voldemort could do about it. You're not concerned about the fact that Harry nearly doomed wizard kind on a whim?
Nah, that sounds like a cause for house points to me.
How come Harry doesn't see me and his mum anymore? Oh, now it's the end of the film. He doesn't give a shit about us.
I actually lied when I told Harry it was the Mirror of Erised. It's actually called the Mirror of Ecnine Evnock Torp.
Which backwards would be plot convenience.
It basically shows you whatever it needs to show you in order to get the story to where it needs to go.
Oh yeah, my mate Galadriel's got one of those.
I'm shaking hands with Dumbledore. I've won the House Cup.
Oh, it also can see the future as well, I suppose.
But this year, give her that. They're like 150 points behind.
Tell the truth, Potter. You expected to see my head on the back of there, didn't you?
I do need to check my own biases.
Harry Potter, we meet again.
What the heck?
Gnarly, right?
That looks completely stupid. I'd be embarrassed if I was a Dark Lord and I looked like that.
Your Dark Lord was just a big eye.
A big eye made of fire at the top of a badass tower? You're telling me that that's the big bad guy we're all supposed to be scared of? He looks like a depressed egg. He's the back of some guy's head. I mean, that's barely been fed. How does it even work? Does he eat?
I did catch Quirrell tucking cheese and onion crisps into the back of his turban every now and then. Just thought he was saving some for later. But I probably should have investigated further.
It eats crisps. So it just raises so many questions.
Voldemort.
Yes.
Good memory, lad. Since the only time you saw him, you were far too young to form long-term memories.
I have a memory for faces.
See what I've become. See what I must do.
You were so close to royally f***ing it.
Come in. Bravery. Your parents had it too.
Everyone hear that? Rewind it.
Every Gryffindor had it. You're not special.
Would you like to see your mother and father again?
There's a way to cheat death.
Nah, don't think you're muscling your way in on this one, too.
There is no good and evil. There is only power. And those two
weak to seek it.
It's a funny way of looking at it. Huh. So Voldemort wasn't evil.
Kill him!
See, it's things like that that make me glad that I didn't give you the stone.
Wow. The lead character has the ability to disintegrate the villain with his bare hands. It's love, Gandalf. It's the power of love.
What is this magic?
Yeah, I think I can see the love there. Not love for Quirrell. That's a pretty nifty ability. You assume that becomes a crucial weapon in your arsenal as the story goes on. If he ever needs to go toe-to-toe with Voldemort, you can just touch him and kill him. No, that never really happens again. Nobody ever mentions it. Forget you ever saw it. It's just a nice moment. Also, you've just learned his touch turns you to stone like some common hill troll, and yet you lead with your face directly into a face smash. Instead of, I don't know, at least kung fu kicking him down the steps. Didn't think to try and trap him in a bag or a hoover or something.
Sorry, Professor. I wasn't thinking straight. Okay, I'm really sorry, gents, but I think that's all I've got time for. I've got to get back to this battle, so... Lovely to meet you. Dad? Lovely to see you all.
Good to see you, Harry. Don't forget to shut the door on your way out. You call us gents? He did, yes. Such a weird kid.
What happened down in the dungeons between you and Professor Quirrell is a complete secret. So, naturally, the whole school knows.
Yes, very good, very good.
I see that your friend Ronald has saved you the trouble of opening your chocolate frogs.
Pretty rude of the kid to open his presents while he's unconscious in hospital.
I think he deserved it. About time the lad took what he deserved. Also, his name's Ron.
I could never be bothered to learn the names of poor people.
Actually, Voldemort's in the middle of some big, dumb laugh, so I think I'll have a bit longer.
Great.
But then Flamel, he'll die, won't he?
Yes, he will die.
Because some ratty first year was out of bed, yes, he must now die.
Oh.
I guess only we can live forever. What? We don't live forever. What's this then? It's kind of like purgatory. The Grey Havens. It's like London, but everything's clean and bright. And it's great, but also at the same time, the absolute worst. Yeah, that's London, all right. Apart from the clean.
Only a person who wanted to find the stone but not use it would be able to get it. That is one of my more brilliant ideas.
So brilliant, it got scuppered at the first attempt by some half-wit first years. Well, yeah. It didn't account for the gang of morons.
Love, Harry. Love.
Love. Love.
Every flavor beans. A lot. Earwax.
Your own or someone else's? Someone else's.
And in first place, Slytherin House. Well done, Slytherin. However, I have a few last-minute points to award.
You know, it might have been fairer to award these points and then announce the winner of the Cup, Albus, rather than tell Slytherin they'd won it when you'd already decided they hadn't.
Well, I don't like Slytherins. I wanted to kick them in the nuts a bit. They hadn't had their nuts kicked for a good long while. I thought yours was a world of moral complexity, and not every Slytherin was evil. Doesn't mean I have to like them, or show them any respect.
Oh, I'm surprised they got 7 in a row. After about 3, I'd expect the other houses to band together and be like, anyone but Slytherin. Flaming them for crimes, and telling teachers other houses solved like world peace or freed the elves or something like that.
Hermione Granger, for the cool use of intellect, 50 points.
And also for attacking a magically challenged kid in your own house.
To Mr. Ronald Weasley, for the best played game of chess, 50 points.
Now, there have been students in that hall who didn't know exactly what had happened, who would have just thought that 50 points for a game of chess was incredibly unfair. It looked like I give a shit.
Harry Potter, For pure nerve, I award Gryffindor House 60 points.
You handed out nearly half the points they scored in an entire year to recognize one moment.
I did warn you there was some bullshit coming up with the house points. It's all very Quidditch.
It's good. It prepares them for life. Seems like a system that completely undermines the efforts of 99% of the students. You've created a model where the vast majority of hardworking people get on with trying to live the best lives they can for themselves and their communities. And all the while, the actions of a privileged few in one isolated moment nobody else knew about can tip the scales of the whole thing and render everyone else's hard work completely pointless. Gandalf, you just described life.
Okay. Fair enough. You got me again.
Well, I thought it was a terrible film. Very biased. I noticed it didn't go to any efforts whatsoever to tell my side of the story.
Oh, great, a talking sandwich. Pretty much what I've come to expect from you lot at this point. That's no sandwich, Gandalf. That's Voldemort. Voldemort, what are you doing in my sandwich?
When I attacked Harry Potter, when he was an ickle baby, the blow actually split my soul thrice asunder and created a little-known 8th Horcrux. And that piece of my soul attached itself to the only other living thing it could find. What did you say I was now? A sandwich.
A ham sandwich, yes.
Great. I'm a vegetarian.
Thought I recognized you. Meant to finish you off. You know, new parents. I mean, you just eat when you can.
Oh. Good to see you, Voldemort.
Oh, hi, Severus. Bit awkward this, isn't it?
A little.
Anyway, that film completely misrepresents me. You lot should try living inside a turban for a year and see how it makes you feel.
All right, Tom. I'm sure you've got your side of the story, but now isn't the time.
You lot should come back for Chamber of Secrets. I'll tell you what really happened. And bring some crisps.
It's Harry Potter.
I imagine this is what going on Love Island feels like. Instant overnight fame. Everybody's staring.
You seem to have thought about going on Love Island a lot, Severus.
And what's wrong?